Well, I just want to say welcome on behalf of Raritan Valley Community College to our sixth annual Martin Luther King Community Partner Breakfast. I just want to be able to start off in the tradition of Martin Luther King with a prayer. I thought this year it probably was very appropriate for us to use his own words. So I looked up a prayer, and I don't know if you know, but there is actually a collection of Martin Luther King Jr.'s prayers that's in a book, and I would definitely recommend that you read them because they're very poignant to our day and our time in 2016 too as well. So, if you would bow your heads at your table. Eternal God, out of whose mind this great cosmic universe we bless thee, help us to seek that which is high, noble, and good. Help us in the moment of difficult decision. Help us to work with renewed vigor for a warless world, a better distribution of wealth, and a brotherhood that transcends race or color. In your name we pray. Amen. And I would just like to invite you for a breakfast, and then we'll begin our program. Thank you. Again, I'd like to welcome you to the 6th annual Martin Luther King Community Partner Breakfast. We are here to honor our community partners for their outstanding service as drum majors for justice. This is the 6th time, as I said, for the program. And I'd just like to start off by just saying this. Raritan Valley Community College is so pleased to have each and every one of you participate in our outreach efforts and our diversity programs here at the college. For the past 3rd year, we have been recognized nationally as a winner and recipient of the Higher Education and Excellence in Diversity Award. This award is in part due to the efforts of our community partners, our students, our faculty, and our staff. And in the words of Martin Luther King, I believe that this would be part of his legacy. In addition, our efforts are also award-winning in our service learning program. We are national recipients year and year and year after year for our tireless efforts of our students volunteering with your organization. So please just let me give you a round of applause for making Raritan Valley Community College a national award-winning program here. In front of you, I just want to acknowledge a couple of our partners. We are partnering with Global Citizen, Martin Luther King Day of Service out of the Philadelphia area. If you don't know, Martin Luther King Day of Service with Global Citizen is actually the largest national day of service program. By Raritan participating along with a number of outstanding organizations in the tri-state area of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware, we were able to put in applications for our week-long celebrations of programs that we had. Those programs included our exhibit in the Evelyn Fields Library. It also included the Children's Center participating in multicultural activities. It included the Martin Luther King Read-In program that we just had yesterday that was filled, this room was filled with students, faculty, and staff. And it also includes the Community Partner Breakfast, along with I invite you back next week for 2 outstanding programs. One is by the theater department, and it's the Black and Rhapsody, a one-man program which is the life of and struggles of an African American in an urban community. Their shows are at 1 and also at 7 p.m. And then the epic historical movie Selma will be shown here at our college at 1 o'clock and then also at 6 p.m. we welcome you along with your guests, family, and friends to come back and continue our celebration of the legacy of Dr. King. I'd like to start with the National Black Anthem, and I will play that, and I would just ask that you stand. So just give me a second to load it. You don't have to stand right now. If you would please rise. Thank you. You may be seated. would like to bring Director of the Somerset Freeholders, Patricia Walsh, to give greetings on behalf of Somerset County.
Good morning, everyone. I'd also like to acknowledge my two other freeholders that are here, Freeholder Peter Palmer and Freeholder Mark Calaguire, joining us this morning for this breakfast. And I'm honored to be able to speak and welcome everyone on behalf of the freeholders to celebrate Martin Luther King Jr.'s Drum Major for Justice legacy. And thank you, all of you partners, for playing a part in keeping this vision alive. What is a drum major? A drum major leads the band. People follow. And certainly Martin Luther King Jr. was a leader. Raritan Valley Community College and the nonprofit community organizations, government agencies, and school partners in Somerset and Hunterdon counties who work with the service learning program are to be commended for furthering this vision. We're so fortunate to have so many partners who see themselves as stewards of the community and provide the students here with the opportunity to serve diverse populations through their tutelage. All of you are giving back to the community and showing our students things that they would not normally be exposed to, which in turn will lead them to maybe another career path in the helping fields, which we so desperately need. And having all of you as a role model, the fact that you as partners are willing to give of your time, because we know that it takes time to mentor and teach. So having all of you as role models, you're paying it forward, and we thank you for all of that. You're not just giving lip service to the fact that we all need to be involved and we all need to help our community. Your commitment to working with RVCC students in the service learning program enables them to use this community service as part of their academic course work and to earn credit for the experience. But it's also to gain invaluable practical experience in the real world through their volunteer efforts. We all know that book knowledge is wonderful and it's there, but the real world is what makes things move. In turn, the populations in our county, the seniors, at-risk children and youth, disabled, victims of domestic violence, hunger, and homelessness are served. Students also then make their mark regarding environmental issues, victims' rights, and the use of robotics to assist the public. All of you, community partners, are drum majors for justice. By taking on this responsibility of preparing our young people to work for the benefit of society and for giving back to your community in this socially responsible way. Martin Luther King said that life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? And to our community partners, I'd like to say, you are doing plenty, and thank you.
At this time, I'd like to invite Lori Moog, the Director of Service Learning, along with the Director of Student Life, Russell Barefoot.
Thank you, Richaline. Thank you, everyone, for coming. It is so great to see all of you again. I know I've been doing site visits, and it's so much fun going to your organizations and seeing what you do and hearing all the wonderful stories about how our students are helping. I was just talking to the young lady at Rolling Hills, and it's just fresh in my mind how she said she loves having our students. Many of them continue to volunteer long after their course requirements have been met. And one of the students whose grandmother got out of the hospital, he told her, you must go to Rolling Hills, and she went to Rolling Hills for care. So it just goes to show how everything is so circular. Special thanks to our freeholders for supporting our students and the community who gives so much to our students and helps us develop our curriculum and so many opportunities for our students. I do want to introduce Russell Barefoot. He's the Director of Student Life. So we do so many different engagement activities at the college, and some of them fall in the area of student life with club activities. So Russell, it's yours.
Thanks, Lori. Sure, Lori. I'm sorry, Tracy will correct me, but I believe it was about 7 years ago or so that a handful of students, led by Tracy Rimple, began a chapter of Students in Free Enterprise on this campus. It's an international organization, and a few years ago they renamed as Enactus. That chapter has grown from about a dozen handful of people to over 40 strong, and they do programming throughout the year, both in the community on campus, and I think they're going to tell you details about the program, so I won't spoil that. But I know that our students who have a great need for financial literacy pack this room or a classroom every month for their financial literacy improvement program. That's just one of the many things that Enactus does to represent RV and to serve RVCC students. They also represent us nationally at competitions and regionally at competitions, and they have brought home many awards and recognitions, and we are very proud of them. And enough of me, I'd like to welcome up Tracy Rimple and the students of Enactus.
And just on one last note, she's not here. She's coming a little late because she happens to be with our donors and a student. But Ronnie Weil, who's the executive director of the RVCC Foundation, does a great deal of work about donor cultivation to get donors to support Enactus. So I don't want her to be our best kept secret. So, and you have literature about the foundation on the table. So thank you, Tracy, and you can introduce the students.
Okay, well, thank you. Well, we are humbled and honored to address you today, and I'd like to talk to you, start this off before I turn it over to the students to tell their success stories, just a little bit about Enactus, and thank you to Russell for the stellar introduction. So with the generous support of all of our community partners, you give so generously of your time, your talent, your resources, you're able to develop the student learning opportunities through the service learning program. So over the past 8 years, I've been very fortunate to have Lori Moog. We've been able to develop these high impact service learning opportunities. And when you hear the stories, you're going to see exactly what I mean by high impact service learning opportunities. So we believe each community is responsible for shaping its own strategies, range of services based on need, resources, and local culture. So with that said, this is where Enactus steps in and takes action. How do we enable progress? Well, they investigate, they analyze, they are strategic in nature, and they figure out how to empower those in need. So with that said, over the past several years, I'm just going to talk about the past several years. Russell's correct. We have been around 7 years, and we've built our membership each year and increased our impact on the local community. So over the past several years, we have volunteered, the students here have volunteered over 6,000 hours over 7 community projects. I'm just going to talk to you about 2 because I know that you need to get out of here and get to work. But so the 2 that they've been focusing on that I'm going to talk about today, tackling short-term and long-term hunger relief. So over the past several years, the students have been able to fund through the local community and plant a community garden through My Neighbor's Pantry, My Neighbor's Ministries in the Manville-Zarephath area. Past 2 years, been able to raise and harvest, distribute 3,500 pounds of fresh vegetables and fruits, putting them on the tables of those households that are food insecure. So it's very impressive and it's very impactful. In addition to that, they have also been able to partner with businesses. They've partnered with Cintas, they've partnered with Walmart, among other companies, and they've been able to raise over 9,000 pounds of non-perishable items to keep the shelves of the pantry stocked. So Mark from the pantry has often commented, other pantries ask, how are you not running out of food with all the demand? It's like, because of our community partners such as Enactus. And we truly are very thankful to all the support that we get here from the institution, from faculty members, and from our community partners, and especially to Ronnie Weil and all of the work that she's done to support us. So, in addition to that, they're very passionate, the students here, about giving back and helping the most vulnerable in our community, at-risk youth. What they've done, if they partnered with Middle Earth to form this program called Big Dan's Bike Shop, and they help the youth build a bike shop from the ground up, teaching them not only how to turn a wrench, okay, but also business skills, soft skills, and the value of an education, which is really important. And that mentorship means the world to the children in this program. So I'd like to thank them for all their time as well. So what if I witnessed through service learning? Why do I want to do this? Taking the curriculum and enhancing it with co-curricular activities. And it's really just so rewarding to see. And I know at times it can be challenging for the students to balance all that they have to do. Work, they do have to work and pay their bills. They take 15, maybe some more than 15 credits, and they still, at the end of the day, on the weekends, at night, have time to give back to those in the community that are underserved. So the success of servant leadership, the success of service learning here at Raritan Valley Community College will be revealed in the stories that the 3 students that were selected today sit in front of you and they will share. So I'd like to start off with Tyler, and he can talk to you just a little bit about his story.
Greetings, I'm Tyler Lavonin, the President of Operations of Raritan Valley Community College, Enactus. First, I would love to thank the community partners for all their efforts to create life-altering opportunities for myself and other RVCC students. I will never forget my Enactus experience. I will take what I've learned from it and make the world a better place in some shape or form. With that, today I will be sharing a powerful experience and a small portion of the life lessons I have learned from my time in Enactus. When I first became a member, I joined a project called Big Dan's Bike Shop, and later on became the project lead. This project teaches at-risk youth in our community different aspects of running the bike shop. Using donated bikes, we teach kids repair skills, workplace skills, and then also how to run a bike business. The purpose behind Big Dan's Bike Shop is to empower at-risk youth through giving them an entrepreneurial experience. Witnessing the transformation of our current senior intern, Christian, has shown me how important and how rewarding helping others can be. In only 1 year in time, Christian learned all the ins and outs of bikes while simultaneously learning the skills to become a leader and to be successful in this complex world. Actually seeing Christian and the others' growth with my own eyes has helped show me how to respect the process of learning in all areas of my life. Before I came to Raritan Valley Community College, I saw school as an obligation and often found myself disengaged. Luckily, through my time attending RVCC and working in Enactus has shown me what's important in life, to face challenge head-on, to be proactive, and most importantly, I do have influence. Now I find myself enjoying school. I'm seeing it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Finally, Enactus gave me the confidence to know I can produce positive change. Thank you.
Our next student's Frank.
Hello, my name is Frank Pongratz. I'm the VP of Media and Marketing in Enactus, and I'm attending my final semester here at RVCC. I'd personally like to thank all of you, the community partners, the faculty, and Professor Rimple for all the time and resources provided to us at Enactus to help us take advantage of the opportunities that lie before us. Enactus has had a huge impact upon my life and my self-enrichment and my academics. When I started at RVCC, I had little motivation to achieve greater things. I remember being in class and listening to Professor Rimple tell us about Enactus and the great leaders that are born in it, and at the time I talked myself out of it. I told myself I couldn't do it, I didn't have time, I worked too much. And I went through my 2 years, I didn't complete I went through 2 years here, not completing my degree, and I took some time off to deal with some personal matters. It was in this time I took a good look at myself and I didn't like what I saw. I worked well under my potential, and I was waiting for opportunities to come to me instead of looking for opportunities. After a year, I came back to RVCC for a fresh start, and I told myself I would say yes to opportunities. I found myself sitting in Professor Rimple's class once again in the same situation. She told us the same thing about an opportunity to do greater things with Enactus. and this was the first yes that I made. I joined Enactus and became involved for the first time in my life with volunteer work. I quickly realized it was the best decision I've made with my life to that day. I loved helping others through our projects. I became a project lead and worked to help businesses with their social media and online presence. Shortly after, about a semester after, I was voted to be the VP of Media and Marketing. Since the time I started, I became a better student and a better person in general. I'm more ambitious about my future, and I seek to help and benefit those who are less fortunate. I'll never forget the hard work that I put into the community garden on those hot August days, and I'll never forget standing outside at ShopRite in the cold, snowing weather, collecting cans for the pantry. All the hard work paid off in the end because I knew I was doing my best to make a difference in my community. My personal growth would not have been possible to this extent without Enactus and the support it gets from everyone here. Thank you.
And next up, Teal.
Hi, my name is Teal Nicholson. I currently serve on the Enactus Executive Board as an alumni member. When I first came to RV, my mission was simple. Come, get my event planning certificate, and leave. I would often arrive on campus only for my classes, and I would leave directly after with zero interest in anyone around me or getting to know the area that I now lived in. But it wasn't until I was introduced to the members from Enactus that all of that would change. Because originally, I come from Philadelphia. And I was raised amongst a tight-knit community that was full of diversity and culture, and when I moved to New Jersey, it was difficult because I left many close family and friends behind. But when I became a member of Enactus, I took my first step in becoming a part of this community here at RV and within Somerset County. After I was introduced to what Enactus was, I knew that I wanted to stay at RV longer, and so I became even further involved, and I decided to stay and get my business marketing degree. Last year, I served as the VP of Recruitment and Sustainability for Enactus, and one of the things that I would tell new members was that our organization was one of the only places that you could not only put into practice everything that you were learning, but you got an opportunity to impact the lives of the people within your community at the same time. Whether you were standing out in the cold, collecting cans for the food insecure, or you were spending your free time teaching at-risk youth how to run a business, Enactus taught me that you can always do more, and that by doing so, you would reap more meaningful rewards. It was through this organization and through the dedicated teachers here at RV that I was able to make connections with key leaders within this community that not only helped drive our projects and our community outreach forward, but they influenced me enough to start my own business within Somerset County. And it taught me how to be a more thoughtful business owner, that you can always find ways to enrich your area and enable those around you to do more. It helped me to be more confident, to be more determined, and it gave me a greater sense of purpose. So it's because of my time here at RV and being a part of Enactus that I now feel accepted, I feel welcomed, and I feel home. So thank you. So thank you to all the community partners for all of your continued support and everyone in this room, because without your hard work, we wouldn't be able to have the impact that we do on this community.
Thank you, Tyler. Frank, Teal. As you can see, it was actually very hard to narrow it down and make a choice of who would present on the panel, because all of our students have impactful, insightful, inspirational stories. And so if we had all day, again, we could just have one after the other come up. So it's really challenging and rewarding for these students at the same time, but they all go on to do great things, and it's nice. It really is a home for them. So again, thank you so much for all that you do and the time that you donate towards the college. Thank you.